Here is the news, edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. 2 ships docked at Colombo Port begin unloading fuel. 4 new flyovers to be constructed to minimize traffic congestion. Gamini Senarath takes office as new presidential secretary. The land in which Kucheveli Trincomalee Transmission Centre is located has been transferred to SLBC. Many job opportunities for Sri Lankan youths in Japan. COVID-19 quasi-emergency for 13 more prefectures. Local news in detail. Energy Minister Udaya Gammampela says 2 ships carrying 37,500 metric tons of fuel have docked at the Colombo port and are in the process of unloading the stocks. He stated this addressing the media briefing to announce the decisions of the Cabinet of Ministers this morning. The lawmakers said 10,000 metric tons of fuel of this consignment would be provided to the Ceylon Electricity Board for power generation. The Cabinet of Ministers have given the go-ahead to construct 4 new flyovers under the agreement frame entered between the governments of Sri Lanka and Hungary. These flyovers will be constructed at Muttatuegala Railway Crossroad and Hiripitiya Junction, Pasyala Junction, Maristella Junction in Negombo and Talabatagura Junction of the National Road Network, with the aim of providing solutions for the traffic congestion. Sri Lanka and Hungary have already entered into a finance cooperation agreement to provide concessionary finance facilities through the Exim Bank in Hungary for implementing infrastructure development projects on the island nation. The government stated that Kohubula and Gatembe flyovers constructed those projects being implemented under these projects. Senior Sri Lanka Administrative Service Officer Gamini Senarath assumed duties as the new secretary to the President today. Mr. Senarath's appointment came after former Presidential Secretary P.B. Jayasundara tendered his resignation last month. He has held various top posts and is an experienced officer in the public service. He joined the SLAs in 1984. Earlier, he was served as the chairman of the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news, according to an agreement signed between the government of Sri Lanka and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Republic of Germany in 1980, the German Voice shortwave and central wave radio transmission center has been established and maintained in the Kuchuveli area, Trincomalee. In 2012, operations and ownership of the transmission center were transferred to Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. 90% of the land is used for transmission station operations. It is possible to use the land for solar power generation without harming the laboratory. It is possible to use the land for solar power generation without disturbing the process of the transmission center. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal made by the Minister of Mass Media and Information to transfer the relevant land to Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, enabling the implementation of solar power project on that land as a source of revenue. A website for employment opportunities in Japan was launched at the Foreign Employment Bureau yesterday. Sri Lanka received many competitive exams for special talents used to obtain job opportunities for Sri Lankans in Japan. Accordingly, the examination relevant to this year is being conducted. The necessary information and advice can be obtained by entering to this website. The Sri Lanka's skilled youths could obtain job opportunities in Japan for a 5-year period. Accordingly, the examinations are available in the field of health services and hotel sector. Information can be obtained by entering www.slbfe.lk of the Bureau and seek the SSW Japan column. That ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Minister of Environment, Mahinda Amravira, says that every state and private sector institutions should utilize their electricity sparingly in order to face the possible electricity crisis in future. He made these remarks participating at the ceremony to present letters of appointment to 81 graduates who were undergoing training at the Ministry of Environment under the program to permanent 50,000 graduates. The relevant ceremony was held at the Ministry of Environment. The minister also stated that there is a difficulty in purchasing fuel due to foreign exchange crisis. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, vaccination program is being conducted in the island continuously. It has been reported that during the past period, the people in the country were obtained both doses of the vaccines in very enthusiastic manner. But doctors pointed out that the most of the people are reluctant to receive the booster vaccines. The doctors request the public to get the booster vaccines without getting cheated for myths. That ends Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines first. COVID-19 caused emergency for 13 more prefectures. Race for vital supplies to reach volcano-hit islands. WHO says no need for new vaccine against Omicron. World News in detail. A Japanese advisory panel of experts has approved the government's plan to declare a quasi-state of emergency for 13 additional prefectures, including Tokyo, over surge in coronavirus infections. The declaration will be in place from Friday through February 13. Minister in charge of the coronavirus measures, Yamagiwa Dishohiro, told the panel, which met this morning, that the prefectures had asked the government to declare the measure. Governors are given power to beef up anti-infections measures under the declaration. The 13 prefectures are Tokyo, Saitama, Chiba, Kanagawa, Gunma, Niigata, Aichi, Gifu, Mai, Kagawa, Nagasaki, Kumamoto and Miyazaki. Teams are working desperately to clear ash from Tonga's main airport runway in an effort to get vital supplies to the region following a volcanic eruption. Some 200 people with wheelbarrows and shovels are sweeping the site to flight can deliver food and drinking water to the Pacific Islands. New Zealand and Australia have also sent ships in response to Saturday's eruption, which triggered a tsunami. 3 deaths have been reported, 2 nationals and a woman from Britain. The Tongan government described the eruption, which can plumes of gas, smoke and debris from the volcano up to 20 kilometers into the sky, as an unprecedented disaster. The World Health Organization has suggested that there is no need at this time to develop new vaccines to deal with the Omicron coronavirus variant. The Executive Director of the WHO Health Emergency Program, Michael Ryan, commented on COVID-19 vaccines at a news conference yesterday. Ryan said many of the original vaccines remains effective against the Omicron variant in terms of preventing hospitalization and preventing deaths. He said the WHO does not have any immediate intention to advise and change the composition of the vaccine. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. COVID-19 quasi-emergency for 13 more prefectures. Race for vital supplies to reach volcano-hit islands. WHO says no need for new vaccine against Omicron. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Proposals have been invited from private sector investors on competitive basis for implementation of a development project related to supply facilities and related development project in relation to a land in extent of 36 acres 1 road and 37.6 purchase situated in Ekala Jailer belong to the Urban Development Authority, subject to the basis of planning, building, financing, ownership, monitoring and transferring. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal submitted by the Prime Minister as the Minister of Urban Development Housing for lease of property on a long-time basis subject to the estimation of the Government Chief Valuer to Access Logistics Park Ekala Private Limited, which has been selected, followed by the evaluation of the technical and financial proposals furnished in this connection. That ends Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
On to the sports news. The third and final ODI played between Sri Lanka team and the visiting Zimbabwe team will be held at the Pallekele International Stadium on Friday. The both team is in equal by winning and each match. The match will begin at 2:30 p.m. today. Sri Lanka team is leading at the point table of the D part at the Under-19 World Championship Cricket Tournament, which is to be held in West Indies. Sri Lanka team has won the 2 matches they played. The next match of the Sri Lankan Under-19 cricket team against the West Indies will be held on Friday. That ends Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cabinet approval has been granted to implement a special program to provide investment opportunities for locating industries and developing business at the divisional secretariat level covering the entire island. Maxons Baltware Private Limited, a leading company in the field of tile manufacturing with over 50 years of experience, has submitted a project proposal to acquire a plot of land to start a bathroom kit manufacturing industry with an investment of nearly 6,000 million rupees. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
A rural finance program has been implemented during the period of 2019 and 2021 for revenue generation and market diversification of targeted beneficiaries under the Small Tea and Rubber Estate Revitalization Project funded by the International Monetary Fund for Agricultural Development. Due to the COVID-19 epidemic, situation, the project has not been able to achieve the expected targets. Therefore, the Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by the Minister of Plantation to extend the term of the loan program till December 31st of 2022. That ends Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department shows showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in Ur province and in Hambantota district after 2 p.m. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. That ends Weather Report. To wrap up the afternoon news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. 2 ships docked at Colombo Port to begin unloading fuel. 4 new flyovers to be constructed to minimize traffic congestion. Kamini Sanrath takes office as new Presidential Secretary. The land in which Kucheveli Trincomalee Transmission Centre is located has been transferred to SLBC. Many job opportunities for Sri Lankan youths in Japan. COVID-19 caused emergency for 13 more prefectures. With that, we wrap up the afternoon news on Radio Sri Lanka.